Hi all, so welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing about the latest episode of Coffee with Karan, that is the Deepika Padukone and Ranveer Singh. So these two have been very vocal about their love towards each other for several years, and even this entire episode was dedicated to their relationship almost. And they kept talking about how much they love each other, and it seemed very fake. It seemed like they wanted to shut all the open romance rumors down. There have been a lot of rumors about their relationship being open, and they wanted to probably release their wedding video in this episode to show that how they've kept their love alive. But honestly, it's been 5 years, and audience, I don't think we're that much interested or there's that much hype about their wedding video as they thought it would be. Maybe if they released it maybe within 1 year of their marriage, the audience would have had a little more interest. But then, with our limited attention span and limited interest, and how our interest keeps changing all the time, I don't think we were that much keen on seeing what their wedding video offered. So yeah, the entire focus of the episode went to what Deepika accidentally revealed. I think it was not in the script given to her by the PR, and the entire episode is scripted, no doubt. Okay, so if you see about the whole narration of how Ranveer Singh met Deepika Padukone for the first time in her white salwar chikankari salwar kameez, coming into the room with the wind blowing. So he's told the same kind of scenes even for Anushka Sharma the first time he met her. So it's kind of very fake.
I saw Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi and I was completely mesmerized by Anushka.
Yeah.
I watched Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, completely mesmerized. We go out for dinner, I'm with this model, and all I can talk about is Anushka. This new girl, she was great.
And cocktail had just happened.
Yes.
So there was a discussion with Mr. Bhansali and all the ADs and myself in the office. Who should we take? Who should we take? And I was batting for Team Deepika. I had just seen Cocktail.
He opens, the doors are heavy, you know, it's
Yes,
opulent.
yes.
So this huge door opens, and of course, because it's such a big door, this wind flies in my face. And right in front of me is Anushka Sharma.
In all her glory.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on the table and the door was like there, and he has these heavy doors and he lives by the seaside.
Yes.
So these heavy doors open and the gush of wind comes from the sea, and she's in like white chicken curry, just like sadgi ki murat. And
And it seems like it was a very poorly written PR script. So the PR themselves are not doing their homework properly, and so yeah, there was a slippage there, but that was not the savage moment of Coffee with Karan. The savage moment came when Deepika Padukone, I don't know, accidentally or in the flow of things, ended up proudly announcing how she was dating multiple people at the same time.
I wanted to be single for a while because I had come out of a couple of difficult relationships, and I was going through this phase where I said, I just want to not be attached and not be committed, and I just want to have fun because this is the age too, and and he comes along, and so I didn't commit. In fact, until he proposed to me, there was no real commitment as such. Even if we were technically allowed to maybe see other people, we would just keep coming back to each other. So I did meet other people, but I wasn't interested or excited by anyone else that I was seeing. And in my mind, I was committed to him. So I would meet other people, but at the back of my head, it was like, I'm going back to him.
So mentally, she was justifying it by saying that she was mentally committed to one guy, but at the same time, she wanted to have fun because it was her age too. I'm not sure what does she mean it was her age too. Is she trying to imply if you're in your 20s, it is fine to be committed to one person and at the same time have your sidekicks with 4 or 5 other people and or suitors that Mr. Ranveer Singh tried to sugarcoat it. I don't think suitors is the word, but yeah. So not sure what has age got to do with it. You can be loyal even when you're a teenager or in your early 20s and be committed to that one relationship. And you can have affairs even when you are 40 or 50. I mean, there is no age for enjoying. What does she mean by enjoying? People can enjoy relationships at any age. So not sure what did she mean by it's my age to have fun. But yeah, it looks like she's trying to say people in their 20s shouldn't be loyal to one person and waste their time. They should have their fun everywhere and then mentally stay committed to one person, or see that this is the person that they can bank upon, and if nothing else works out they can go back to this person. It seemed like that to me. It was, she did not make it sound like Ranveer Singh was someone she really wanted and he was her all. Like, she should have made it sound. Now whatever was their internal reality is something between them, right? You don't really have to reveal that to the whole world and say like, hey, we had an open relationship and I'm very happy, and he was sleeping around or dating around and I was dating around, and then we decided after a few years that let's get together with each other when he decided to propose me. So they went from casually dating to marriage in over a span of 3 years. They never really seriously committed to each other until he proposed her, in her own words, which is again bizarre because generally when a proposal happens, you probably have known each other seriously with the intention of getting married for a long time. So there was a lot of hypocrisy. Now, is there anything wrong in having an open relationship? Absolutely not. If the two people involved are aware of the situation and they agree to it and they are happy with it, it is fine. Even then, is it really necessary to speak about it publicly when you're such a big celebrity? That's kind of like throwing an axe on your foot, given that you are in India and casual dating is kind of frowned upon, since you are trying to appeal to an entire country and get more audience to like you, not try to look very modern. And but it comes off very hypocritical because exactly in the same show a few years back, she's told that she's a kind of a person who prefers being monogamous, who cannot be not serious in a relationship. She's very committed. She cannot understand people who casually date multiple people. And then she kind of joked a lot on Ranveer Kapoor and said that he is a womanizer and she should gift him condoms and all that. And she kind of spoiled his public image. And I think, yeah, that episode had really hurt him and his family.
It all also started by this one episode on television, a talk show, where Deepika and Sonam appeared and they spoke about me. I remember when I saw it a day before it was aired. And my first reaction was, why? But then, I take it as, it's just good humor. These are the people I work with. I understand in what sense they were speaking.
What sense were they speaking?
Honestly, I was there. The day they were shooting this episode, I of course was in my trailer van, and after they finished the episode, both of them came to my trailer van and they were really sweet to me and they were talking to me.
But you didn't know what they said.
I wasn't aware what was happening back then. But I think after the episode was aired, there was a lot of hoopla around me about this episode. I didn't really take it, that negatively. I wasn't that hurt. I still respect Deepika a lot. I had a beautiful relationship with her. She has some angst against me. I think it would have been more graceful of her if she could pick up the phone and speak to me about it rather than speak, on a public platform. She didn't do that. But still, I still respect her. I still wish her all the best in her life.
But yeah, so this was what she told when she was coming to the shows in the earlier seasons. And now she kind of reveals a completely different story. So there is a lot of hypocrisy, and that is why she's kind of being called out, and rightly so, I would say. If you see the way that she tries to kiss him also in the same episode, you kind of find it weird, right? Like, you see the way she probably even kisses SRK for a promotion. It's more genuine, authentic, but the way she's kissing him is like she's finding it's very awkward to watch. The way they are sitting together and the way he is looking at her is like, I don't know if he genuinely was jealous or anything, but he was not comfortable with her sharing this on a public platform for sure, because it affects his image as well. And that was very clear from how he reacted. I mean, people think that his reaction was of hurt, and I think it was more about why she talking about her personal stuff in an episode of Coffee with Karan, because it kind of can have a major backfiring, which it did eventually. And yeah, so he was clearly uncomfortable, that is for sure. So that is not the way probably she should have handled that question, because just in the next question, when she was asked about who the other suitors were, she suddenly had amnesia and she forgot who they were and she doesn't remember and all that. So people she dated are so insignificant that she doesn't even remember their names. So kind of odd when she was having fun with them. Not sure what did she mean by age of having fun. Again, nobody's talking about ageism here. Like yeah, so she's trying to imply, if you're young, don't waste your time in committing to one person. Just enjoy your life and have multiple boyfriends or girlfriends and use and throw them, probably. Not sure what she means, but this was not the right thing to say and wasn't a very wise thing as well. And the whole releasing of the wedding videos is like we already discussed, like in Hollywood you have all these renewal of the vows when the relationship is kind of breaking, and you usually see that the relationships do eventually break up after the renewal of the vows. And I think they're trying to do the same thing here by releasing the wedding videos and talking about how pristine their wedding was and everything. Uh, I don't know, nobody's that much excited about their wedding videos now. Then they bring up the topic of depression and how Karan Johar went into depression, and then how she went into depression, and how they would have anxiety attacks and they would cry and everything. So they're trying to be very relatable and bring attention to mental health issue, which has its merits. I don't deny that, but at the same time, I kind of find it difficult to understand that people would not know at their own core why they are so depressed and they keep crying and crying and crying for days, but not have a reason for crying. I'm sure they would know at some level what is the reason for uh, their depression. At least they would have an idea. They wouldn't say, I don't know why I'm crying, and keep crying for several days. We all have phases in our lives where we are down, and a lot of people do go through depression. And yeah, but this whole thing of she's kind of like giving you half halfway knowledge or truth of her life, even though she's trying her best to come out to the audience as a person who is an open book and who shares everything, and someone who's very relatable to the modern concept of the society. But it doesn't come that way, it comes very hypocritical. Like, you don't know why you're depressed and crying for days, you don't know who were the guys, you don't remember who you were dating with parallelly. So is that a lot of people kind of got really entertained. It gave something to everyone to talk about, and yeah, it brought our focus to the current situationship kind of situation that is existing in the world of relationships now. The whole idea of where it usually happens that one of the two people do really want to commit or know that this person is my person, but that the other person is kind of non-committal or not willing to commit, whatever is the reason, and they want to get involved with other people as well. So these situationships are very common in today's society, and I think these situationships do lead to depression, and I would not advise anyone to get into these. You should be clear about what you want in your life, and you shouldn't invest or waste your time in people who you don't see a major future with. I don't see any fun in hanging out or spending time or your energy into any person who you don't see a relationship with. Maybe you can gauge for a few days or weeks, but beyond that, if you go into a few months and you don't know where this relationship is headed, you cannot have an honest conversation about your feelings, about where you want to take this, and you want to get involved in this confusion of situationships, it kind of just leads to depression. Maybe something that people should be aware about, that if you're these kind of situations do lead to depression. So yeah, I think Ranveer Singh is not some kind of a victim or an angel here, because he himself in several interviews have I mean told, kind of insinuated or told, Like he's been involved with a lot of people starting at the age of 13. And yeah, so it's not like he's some kind of a major victim. I'm sure he was aware of the entire situation and everything, but at least whenever he is in the public eye, he always makes sure that he treats her like a princess, and he makes sure that he always gives her credit for all the success that he achieves and makes her feel special and treats her like a queen. I would say that, at least in the public eye. Now we don't know what happens behind the closed doors, but seems like he does paint the picture well of being a good husband. And even in the interview, it did feel like he was, the way he answered in the same question, he was very sure of being the one for her and making sure that he gets her. So, and the way he treated her, everything was good, but she did not do the same, as in she should have made her man feel special in the interview, and not like some random guy she finally decided to choose because he proposed her after not having too much success with others in the relationship. That is how she ended up concluding in the interview. Even though she tried to imply that she was mentally committed to him, it did not go down well because all the other things that she said were pretty damaging. So yeah, she kind of was not very wise in the interview, and I'm kind of surprised that this was not edited out by their PR team, because I'm sure they were given uh, they were given the copies of this episode before it went live. So kind of weird, but how this all happened, there were so many PR mistakes, and so much of it seemed very fake. So I think if you cannot be genuine, it's better not to make public appearances. And if you say a bunch of lies now and then a few years later you forget about it, but since it's on the internet, the public remembers, your fans remember. And then when you say something on the contrary, and then you kind of it kind of backfires. So it's better that you say whatever is the truth, and stick to your truth. And if you don't, and if the truth is dark, or if the truth is controversial, like in this case, it's better to just shut up and not reveal your personal information in public. So that's my take on it. Please let me know your thoughts in comments. Bye. Please do subscribe to my channel if you like the content.